Although Walt Disney claims it all started with a mouse, the Disney Corporation actually began with a rabbit named Oswald. Due to the Disney Brothers Studios contract with their initial distributor, Walt and Roy Disney lost the rights to Oswald the Rabbit. Desperate for a new character, Walt modified Oswald the Rabbit into Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse was premiered to the public in the 1928 cartoon Steamboat Willie. In 1937, Disney entered a new business segment by releasing their first full-length animated film, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Snow White became the highest-grossing animated film of all time. It wasn't until 1950 that Disney released their first television special titled An Hour in Wonderland. In 1954, Disney, with ABC, produced the television program Disneyland. The popular Mickey Mouse Club followed the year after. It wasn't until the 1980s that Disney began their own television networks. In 1983, the Disney Channel was launched, and in 1996, Disney acquired ABC Networks. In early 1986, Disney began producing popular shows such as the NBC hit Golden Girls and Live with Regis and Kathie Lee. Today, Disney's television networks include ABC, the ESPN networks, Disney Channel, Toon Disney, Disney XD, and SoapNet.
Television is broken down into 3 different strategic groups: network television, cable television, and syndicated television. Network television rarely repeats programming. It is free, so it reaches more people within demographics. Network television also has more successful long-running programming and a bigger variety of programming. Network television can cover lots of live and special events such as concerts and speeches. Cable television tends to repeat shows, and it reaches a smaller scope of the target audience. Cable television hosts many different channels that can reach many different demographics. With cable television, consumers must pay for the stations, which can lead to smaller audiences. Because cable television hosts more shows, there's also more competition for the viewers to watch each show. With syndicated television, a show can be broadcast on multiple channels, but that also means less original programming.
It requires great planning to penetrate the cable industry. There are government regulations to get on the air, capital needed to create the shows, capital to publicize everything that will be aired on the stations, professional writers, illustrators, directors to produce quality material for the station, and actors to draw customer interest, and a knowledge of the business, the cable industry, and the law in order to strategically produce products to blue ocean markets and not commit any crimes.
There are many trends in the cable industry, including the technological trend of switching to DVR, which is threatening ad revenues from commercials. There are regulatory controls in the industry, making them more family-friendly, because parents can put locks on certain channels, prohibiting their children to watch them. The economic trends are that kids can watch network television for free, or that instead of going to the theater, you can watch the movie channels on cable. There's been a massive switch to cable television that has been popular among people of all ages. The threats to the industry are zipping and zapping, in which you can either fast forward through commercials or channel surf, which hurts ad revenues. News Corporation is a diversified global media company with operations in 8 industry segments: filmed entertainment, television, cable network programming, direct broadcast satellite television, integrated marketing services, newspapers and information services, and book publishing. News Corporation is the second largest media conglomerate behind Walt Disney as of 2008. The founder is still the CEO, Rupert Murdoch. This international company has assets of $62 billion, an operating income of $5.4 billion, and total revenues of $33 billion at the end of 2008. Almost 70% of the company's sales come from its U.S. businesses. On January 16, 2009, the Government Accountability Office reported that News Corporation has 152 subsidiaries in low-tax or no-tax countries, one of 4 companies to have more than 100. Some of the weaknesses for News Corporation include being known as a biased company politically when it needs to focus on staying neutral in order to please a wide variety of customers. In 1987, News Corporation overextended itself, causing huge debts. Much of this debt came from its stake in Sky Television Satellite Network. This forced them to sell off many of the American magazines' interests it had acquired in the mid-1980s. Though News Corporation does not have the magical mystique about its company, it does need to focus on making Disney attributes into parody, since Disney is the only company larger than them. They should consider the markets in toys, apparel, video games, and personally owned stores.
One of Disney's main competitors is Time Warner Networks. Their strengths lie in their networks. Some of their networks include TNT, which is the #1 ad-supported cable network with adult viewers for the 5th consecutive year, and is the home of the #1 original series, The Closer. Adult Swim, which is the Cartoon Network nighttime channel, is also a major strength of Time Warner. It is the #1 ad-supported cable network with men between the ages of 18 and 34. Time Warner is also home of CNN, which is the #1 news and information site on the web. The combined household viewers for the top 4 stations of Time Warner, which are TBS, TNT, CNN, and the Cartoon Network, exceeded 490 million households in 2008. In 2008 and 2009, Warner Bros. Entertainment, which is a part of Time Warner, was producing over 20 series, with at least one for each of the 5 broadcast networks, a feat unmatched by any other studio, as well as series for cable's FX and TNT stations. Time Warner owns the right to DC Comics, which is competitive to Marvel, owned by Disney. With their variety of channels and programming, Time Warner has a major strength in that it can basically reach any age demographic. Time Warner does face some weaknesses, though. When they owned America Online as a brand, it used a lot of company resources, and then they ended up selling it, so now they just hold the brand name. Because of their extensive programming and producing networks, Time Warner also faces the weakness of risking of stretching their resources too thin.
The strengths of Viacom are that they won the bid for Paramount Communications. Viacom also exploits the synergy between their website and their broadcast channels. Viacom has done a good job of maintaining their legacy of creative excellence between CEOs. They have established their brand globally by reaching over 520 million households in over 160 countries. Viacom's weaknesses include publicly admitting to copyright infringement while suing another corporation for the same act. Their deal with Paramount cost them over $1.5 billion more than planned and caused them to be in debt $10 million. Their main source of revenue is commercial advertisement, and with the DVR, viewers can skip over these advertisements.
Some of the strengths for Disney is its brand image, its large following, the magical mystique, it is parentally approved, it's educational, interactive, and has very popular shows. For 11 straight years, ABC is rated #1 in daytime drama for women 18 to 49. ABC has the top 2 shows for adults 18 to 49, which are Desperate Housewives and Grey's Anatomy. SoapNet is #1 in viewer loyalty. The main weakness that we will be focusing on is that Disney is not exactly geared towards boys, which is a market with unmet needs.